My connections to this university are personal. This university is part of my hometown and part of my lineage. My grandfather grew up 3 blocks from here and raised a family, including my father. I was born on College Avenue, just a couple blocks from here. So yeah, my roots to this place really kind of run deep. We grow 200 million pounds of food a year. Okray Family Farms really started when my grandfather and his brothers kind of got together in the early 1900s, 1905 to be specific, and started trading in potatoes. The Okray family had a farm on the west side of the river as well, and that just slowly but surely expanded at a really nice and healthy rate until today. So today we're growing 7,700 acres of crops, and we've got another 1,000 or 1,500 acres that we're just kind of tending as natural areas.
What's interesting about Dick is, although he's this big businessman, he's really perceived as a local, caring, helpful community member, and he's known more for that than he is his business. Dick's a graduate of economics, yet he's been incredibly involved in our School of Education, and I think it's all about the children with him. I mean, very much like his mom, Pat Okray, and his dad, Joe.
My mom got a teaching degree here. My father went to the school, but I think he joined the military and never probably completed that.
And I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree here. A few years ago, I talked with Tilla Wenninger, who was the superintendent of schools at the time, and I was the dean of the college that housed our School of Education. We wanted to do something for education, and we wanted to do it, make it community-based. And both of us, I think, said at the same time, let's get Dick Okray involved in this. And we did. It's now called Point in Common, and it brings guest speakers to the community to talk about issues in education, and it's headed by the community and headed by Dick Okray.
The idea of bringing in some of the best teaching professionals in the world to speak to groups of educators in our area can only be good for the future of this community. Some of the topics are, really for not just for teachers, but they're for coaches, they're for parents, they're for grandparents and mentors. Point in Common, hopefully, drives education to a higher level in this community. I graduated with a minor in Spanish. I had been living in South America in the early 80s and wound up taking a teaching job. I was teaching English to the whole gamut of kids, from really young 5-6-year-old kids all the way up to secretaries who were just trying to better their English. And then at night I would teach adults who really wanted to better their job chances by knowing a second language. There was an awful lot of learning that went along with my teaching, because the English language, although it's an excellent language, it's very difficult to learn. I did work for 15 years on the state's Migrant Labor Council. We toured some migrant camps, and we really got to understand what it's like to live the life of a migrant. It's interesting to understand what it must be like to lift up all of your roots and go somewhere else to make a living. My wife's family, the Rainiers, were very, I think, pivotal in trying to get a bigger foreign student program here at this university, and in helping to house those people. We've taken some students in over the years from Japan and from Spain, from China, and from Cameroon. Our favorite, Sam Dinga, is our son, and he's a great kid. And he now has a family of his own, but he certainly adds to the fabric of our community, and I think that's a great concept for people to be able to understand what other cultures are like. And the best way to do that is to bring them to you. If you can't go there, bring them to you. And no better place to do that than to bring them to this great place of learning, UWSP. I think people here have those Midwest values that are very open and welcoming to people. Well, I've never seen such largesse in an area as Central Wisconsin. It really, it's good to be part of that, but more importantly, to be part of that fabric that we call Central Wisconsin, and to kind of create the world that we want to live in.